What's going on, everybody? It's your boy PTK Bland back in the building. Another beautiful Saturday. So, you know what that means? Another episode of the Shop Podcast, baby. We're coming live at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Be there or be square. So, once again, we have a great show, and I just want to say, appreciate each and every one of you always stopping through, showing love and supporting the channel. Appreciate everything you guys do here and showing support for what we do here on the show. So, I have a couple special guests here today. Now, one is not here just yet, but we're not going to trip. He's probably going to be here very, very soon. But we do have one already here. Then we got another familiar face. So I'm going to do what I always do. Let them speak on their own behalf. So go ahead, special guest. We're going to start with you, man. First time here on the show. Let everybody know what's going on with you, Lazy.
What's going on, man? Lazy Black Gamer here. Yeah, I appreciate being asked on the show. I've been waiting. I've been waiting by my phone, man. You told me you was gonna call me. You call me. So but no, man, I'm real happy to be here and get started on the topics, man. We got an exciting show for you guys. What's going on, chat?
Yeah, what's going on, chat? Once again, the chat is live as well. Please retweet, follow, share that link, man. Let's pack this chat out. We love to have fun. And don't forget, if it's your first time here, please subscribe to the channel, man. Thanks for all you guys' support. Now we're going to go ahead and go over to one of our regulars here on the show. Last but not least, Mr. Unassuming himself. Go ahead and give yourself a shout out, Fuzzy.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Fuzzy Belvedere here. Glad to be here with Lazy Black Gamer, PTK. Ready to talk about these topics. It's going to be an excellent show.
Oh yeah, baby, you know how we do. And once again, there may be some people trickling in here a little bit later. So say hi when they get in here. Once again, the chat is live as well. So I've been talking too much. Let's go ahead and just get started on the topics for today. So the first thing I want to talk about, and it's funny that I'm starting with this because we literally just got done talking about that right before I hit play. As far as the show goes, I wanted to dive right into that Black Ops 4 Call of Duty Blackout trailer. Now, this thing, when they first talked about Call of Duty getting Battle Royale, to be honest, from my perspective, I thought it was going to be a disaster. I had no idea if Call of Duty could pull it off. I don't know if, the gameplay's there, but the size, what Battle Royale entails as far as like how it works, I didn't think that Call of Duty would be able to pull it off. Now, after seeing that trailer, I wasn't on board. I wasn't on board. I may be on board at this current point in time. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it to our special guest today. I want to get your opinion, Lazy, on what do you think about that trailer, man? Was that more than you bargained for, or what was your expectations coming in?
Brother, my expectations was just like everybody else. We thought the Battle Royale for Call of Duty was going to be on ass milk level. If I can, if that's the best way I can describe it. But seeing this trailer, man, it looks amazing. I saw a screenshot of the overhead map or whatever, how that's gonna look. It looks like it's gonna be pretty big. I think I heard it's supposed to be like 2,500 times bigger than Nuketown map. So
wow.
That's just amazing. I'm actually I have the trailer actually on loop in front of me right now, and just the attention and detail of the map is amazing. The way that they actually film the trailer is just like, most people don't have an idea how much work it takes to do these trailers. I've actually had the honor of working on a multiplayer video game before with The Last of Us, and it's a lot of work trying to coordinate the players to do all these recordings for a trailer for like the public. And like, you got the ATVs like going off a ramp and shooting at one player while another player is tossing a knife, and it just looks amazing. I can't wait to play it.
Yeah, the cinematography was crazy. It's like a Michael Bay movie, and that's what I come to expect from Call of Duty.
But
now, the biggest thing for
better.
me. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, true. No, true. Good point. Good point. That was really a bad. So yeah, I mean, for me, the biggest thing is how many players are going to fit on the map. Because when you PUBG,
I'm actually looking at that. There's So I think GameSpot is saying that for the beta there is going to be probably about 80 players for Blackout, which is way more than I thought that Call of Duty could pull off. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, same thing. And that's kind of goes with what I'm saying, is that that was one of the pleasant surprises as far as the trailer goes. Now it looked phenomenal. The vehicles look great. The gameplay, it still gives you that Call of Duty, because one thing Call of Duty does well is like smooth gameplay. As far as like, well, generally smooth gameplay. As far as like being quick, being kind of arena style, like you feel fast. You know, there's different loadouts, things like that. Like you can get across the map quickly. And I was wondering how that was going to translate into battle royale, because that's such a larger space, and they've never ever done that. That's more Battlefield, Conquest, that thing where where it's huge and it's big maps. That's more Battlefield style. So I was really pleasantly surprised that it looks like they're able to still get that feel, that making the game feel like Call of Duty while on a way larger map. So we're gonna go ahead and throw this question to you too, Fuzz. What was your expectations, man? I know me and you talked about it a couple times on the show, like last week and a week prior to that. So what were you thinking after watching it?
I'm pleasantly surprised as well. I kind of figured it was just going to be something that was just thrown together. I mean, they had already said that they were kind of in a rush to get like just the multiplayer aspect of it, and then they kind of added that on after the fact. So to have that amount of detail and have the vehicles and have it where it's going to pretty much be like if you could put Grand Theft Auto Online on steroids or something like that. They got it definitely worked out here as far as with the weapons, the movement, the vehicles, the whole nine. Still on the fence. I don't think I'm gonna pick it up right away. I'm probably gonna wait either until the kids cry and say that they want it, or it's on discount. But it's definitely a much better presentation than what was expected.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't even think it's close. I mean, I like he said, ass milk lazy? Is that what you said? That's exactly what I was expecting, bro.
Ass milk.
Straight BS, man. I'm trying to tell you, because I couldn't battle royale Call of Duty. It just couldn't. My mind couldn't put that together. And yeah.
We all we've all played Call of Duty. So when we heard that Call of Duty was hopping on the battle royale train, I think most of us were like, no, just stay in your lane, bruh. Just stay in your lane. But I mean,
yeah,
sometimes you just got to get with the times and evolve. I mean, so
yeah.
I mean, it's looking like that move to throw battle royale in there was a good one. I mean, we'll see when the PS4 Blackout beta comes. I think September 10th.
I believe so. I have to double check on that date. But yeah, I want to follow up that question with a kind of a secondary question since we're talking about Call of Duty. So what does this do for Battlefield? So you think now, because I mean that trailer went viral. That Call of Duty trailer went viral. So what do you think that puts a lot of pressure on Battlefield to really have a great presentation as far as like when they revealed their Battle Royale mode? You think that's putting a lot of pressure on them, or how do you guys feel?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we only got the teaser, and I mean, if you would ask me a couple of weeks ago, had the trailer premiered a couple of weeks ago, I would have said no. But now with Battlefield being pushed back an entire month, I'm not too sure. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they felt they needed more time. Maybe they needed more breathing room, especially from Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out in October, or. I mean, maybe they need to polish or add some features. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody caught the trailer before a sneak peek of the trailer before Activision released it. I don't know, man. Maybe because I mean, this trailer does look good. I mean, we can only wait until we see when EA releases their trailer for the Battlefield mode, or Battle Royale mode. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So what do you think about that too, as well, Fuzzy? You think there's some pressure there with Battlefield? Do you think that there's anything going on with that?
I think there is a little bit more pressure on them, but they probably expected that there was going to be a little bit better turnout from Black Ops with them pushing it back. But they also had like Lazy was saying, with Red Dead right around the corner, give them a little bit breathing room. But that Ring of Fire idea, I kind of like that more so than having like this imaginary blue circle type of thing closing in. So I'm looking forward to see what other things they bring to it. But the Ring of Fire, I think, is going to be a cool spin on the whole, battle royale zone closing stuff. But they're going to have to come hard with this one. They're going to have to bring their A game when they do their updated trailer for it, because now it looks like Blackout is going to definitely put a hurting on Fortnite even. Well, at
Yeah,
least for some period of time, it'll
yeah,
draw some attention away.
yeah. I
Uh,
don't, I don't know how, once Fortnite is Fortnite at this point. It's so ingrained in the culture at this point. Nothing can really stop that train at this. The only person that can stop fucking Fortnite is Epic. That's about it. The only
oh,
people that can derail that game.
we haven't even touched on the fact that from the trailer it also shows that zombies are going to be
That's
involved in
another
some
thing.
capacity.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's also going to be crazy because Fortnite doesn't have it. Fortnite doesn't. I mean, it's just PvP. It doesn't. It's not a
Yeah.
PvE
They
element
have
in there.
that. They have that save the world option for like the zombies and all that kind of shit. So
Right.
you want to do that? Yeah. So they haven't mixed it too. That's unique as hell too.
They
I
haven't
didn't even
mixed it
realize that.
yet.
Yeah, that creates a whole different dynamic. You're not only running away from the other characters, whether it be like I don't know, maybe they'll have different modes you can play in, like certain smaller teams, and they have like 32 versus or 40 versus 40, or small squads or whatever the case may be. Hell, maybe even a huge just free for all essentially. But that adds a whole different spin on just running away and zones closing, and you got that's crazy. Like really thinking about that, that could make for some really cool gameplay.
I'm so excited now.
Yeah, it just man, just thinking about it, But that is just our opening topic again. Once again, guys, I did just get a DM from KOR. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to make it today, guys. He's probably going to be on the show next week. Shout out to him. He had some last minute things to do with the family, so no big deal, brother. I will catch you probably next week, man. But if you're rocking with us here and you're live once again, tap that like button, man. It helps the videos be seen. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. So let's go ahead and move on. Keep this train going. Once again, share that link as well. So another thing is, I made a video about this earlier this week, a standalone video. I believe I put that video out, I think Wednesday or so this week. So if you don't, it's in my archives. Go look at it. So I wanted to talk about something that interesting that came up in my head. After we got that Cyber 2077 gameplay trailer, and we got the trailer obviously at E3, and we got the trailer for Halo Infinite, it got me thinking that could those two games potentially come out the same year? Like, what are the odds? And I actually posted that as a question of the week on Twitter as well. And majority of the people said there's like a 50-50 chance that they think those two games will come out the same year. And I wanted to get you guys' opinion. Oh, by the way, Gaming Forte just showed up. He's in the building now. What's up, Forte? Oh, once he gets his mic together, he'll probably probably say something. But either way, Lazy, once again, I want to throw that to you, brother. So what do you think? What are the odds of those two games coming out the same year?
I mean, honestly, I feel like I don't feel like we'll even see Halo Infinite on the Xbox One X. That little teaser that we got during E3, I don't know, just wasn't enough for me. Maybe there's a chance we'll see it in 2020, but I honestly feel like we'll end up seeing Halo Infinite on the Scarlet when that drops, which I feel will probably be holiday 2020 or sometime in 2021. I mean, it could be 50-50. I mean, I don't want to just go out and say it won't happen, but I just feel like we have with the progress that we've seen going on in the 2077 trailer, we'll probably see that on Xbox One X and PS4. But I mean, hell, we could probably even see it on Xbox One X and Xbox Scarlet or PS4 and PS5. You know how some of the other games did transitioning from 360 to
Kind of like
Xbox.
a GTA 5.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I personally don't feel like Halo 6 is even gonna make this gen.
Okay, no, that's a very real thing because we actually in this I saw this I think it was on Twitter, but one of the developers at CD Projekt Red said the game you can actually play it from beginning to end. Now there are things once again as they showed that trailer, everything is subject to change, so that means everything's still fluid. It can still be moved around, so that means they're still early enough in the game where they can still go in and tweak everything from start to finish. But the game is literally playable from beginning to end. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if there's he and I have to find the tweet again. And if any one of you guys just tweet me that link because it is out there. I can't remember exactly what article it was from, and I'll find it here in a little bit. But and I found that to be interesting. So I think you're right on the money as far as saying that Cyberpunk is probably going to be this generation, as far as like maybe like you said, like a GTA 5 where you get it here and you also get it on the next generation consoles, which would make sense because I think when Cyberpunk comes out, I think it's going to be, I don't want to say new GTA, but I think it's going to be, I don't think anything else is going to be able to stand up against it for a while. As far as like, I don't think any other game wants to come out anywhere near Cyberpunk.
I wouldn't. That would be the best move.
Yeah. So
just give
I
it
mean,
month.
yeah, I mean, I love Halo, and Halo has a fantastic following. I mean, and I've always figured, I always been one to say Halo could literally come out with anything and it would still do well. I still believe that, but I would be hesitant to put that out with Cyberpunk coming out as well. And
I don't know. Halo Infinite to me seems like the only title that would and should have the balls to come out in the same window as Cyberpunk. But anything at this time, I can't think of anything else
besides like GTA or something.
Yeah, GTA, but I'm pretty sure we're not getting another GTA this gen. So
no, yeah, that's probably not happening. So I'm throwing that question to you too as well, Fuzzy. What do you think? I mean, you think that's a 50% of the poll said? Well, actually, yeah, 50% of the poll said that they thought it was a 50% chance. Actually, majority of the poll. I'm sorry, not 50%, but they thought it was a 50% chance of that happening. So what do you think those odds are?
I think the odds are pretty good. It's going to be kind of weird. Like Lazy was saying, I think the Halo 6 or Halo Infinite is going to be, like a launch title for Scarlet. You might be able to play it on Xbox One X, with it being previous gen, plus or minus a few features here and there type of thing. But with that being a launch title, that one could probably hold its own against Cyberpunk, just because Cyberpunk, I have a feeling it's going to be like the tail end of this gen, and then whatever upgrades that they can add to it, whether it's more NPCs or something, that's what we're going to get the full version or the full vision of that game on the next gen as well. So I think they'll live on that first year for the next gen, but I think Lazy's right. We're probably going to see Cyberpunk at the tail end of this one, and then just carry our save over to the next console. But Halo's one of those only games I think they could probably stand a chance, other than like a GTA 6 or something like that. But maybe even Fable for that matter. But man, that's going to be like divvying up. You're going to be divvying up a lot of your game time. It's going to be like, hey, I want to do a couple of missions in Cyberpunk, and then we're going to do a couple of rounds on Halo, and then maybe finish off a story quest on Fable or something like that.
I will probably be playing both games well into my mid-30s. Let's be honest.
I can almost guarantee that, man. You guys think that? So I mean, they did this. Now this is kind of off topic here, but they did. CD Projekt Red did this with Witcher 3 as well. You guys see, and you think they're going to repeat with the free DLC for Cyberpunk? I'm almost certain there's going to be DLC at some point for the game. You think it's going to be free?
Ooh, free? I don't know. I would hope so. My wallet would hope so. My wife would hope so. But I mean that would be nice. But I mean, even if that isn't the case, I'll definitely still play it. I honestly haven't played Witcher as much as everybody else. Trust me, guys. I promise. I swear to God, I'm going to finish it one of these days. But I have had a couple of things, not like big plot spoil for me, but there was something in the story. I'm hoping that we actually get to see some elements of Witcher 3 in Cyberpunk, because there was a story. I forget what the girl's name is, but she told damn, I can't even say his name because I know I'm gonna mispronounce it. The main character of Witcher 3.
Geralt.
Don't call me a fraud, y'all. I say Geralt, but I'm pretty sure it's not how you pronounce his name. Nobody gonna help me out? All right, so
I think it's Geralt.
Geralt, yeah.
But she's telling him that she went into this other land, and everything that she described about the other land is exactly how it sounds 2077 is. So if these games are connected somehow, that would be dope.
Wow.
I'm just going off on a tangent on something completely different, but that would be dope.
Yeah, it would.
Okay, let me shut up. Continue.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah, that would be crazy. So I'm gonna throw that to you too, Forte. I know you got the mic situation all straightened out, brother. So what do you think, man? Halo, Cyberpunk, man. The odds of those two games coming out the same year.
Personally, I hope they don't come out in the same year. Mostly just for the reason that Halo has a lot to prove. I don't think they need to bring it up that close to another marquee game of that stature, especially something that's based heavily around just single player gameplay. That's the one thing that's been lacking in the Halo games as of recently, going back towards basically all the way back to Halo 4. And I think that Microsoft needs to put as much marketing behind that game as possible. And knowing that Cyberpunk 2077 has a marketing deal with Microsoft, how are they going to split that between Halo? Of course, they're going to market their own game more, but how are they going to split those marketing dollars between those two big games at the same time? So hopefully Microsoft doesn't try to release that game, in the same calendar year. If they do, hopefully they're on opposite sides of the calendar. Maybe Halo is, forgoes its normal September, October, November launch window, and they bring it out probably in the spring or earlier in the year, like they, like Sony's doing with a lot of their first party titles now. I think Halo can actually survive it. It's just the fact that I don't want it to try. I don't even want it to have to even try to survive it. I want that game to get as much publicity as it could possibly get, and I just don't think it's going to get it if they have to promote Cyberpunk at the same time, because that's something that I hear a lot of people not really talking about, that Microsoft has to promote both those games if it does happen to come out in the same calendar year.
You're right.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I didn't even consider that.
That would be hella cruel to make us choose between both of those. That's like choosing who to love more, mom or dad, after they separate.
Exactly.
Yeah. That would be cruel as hell.
Yeah. Now thinking about that, I didn't even consider that, man. So yeah, that's a toughie right there. That is a toughie, man. So great topic nonetheless. Once again, if you're new here, every question that I ask the panel is also for you guys in the chat. We like to keep things moving. We like to keep it going live. So once again, share the link, subscribe if you're not and you're new here. That's amazing. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. Now the next topic is kind of a nostalgia topic. I kind of threw this in there as something that I have near and dear to my heart. Now, Modern Warfare 2 recently became backwards compatible, and Twitter lost its complete mind for about half an hour to an hour after it was announced, with the fact that so many people wanted it. Now, pretty much you can play every single COD on an Xbox, from all the way back to I don't know. I don't even know if they have the one like on the OG Xbox back compatible, but you can damn near play the entire series of Call of Duties on one console at this point. And I know Modern Warfare 2 was a big game for a lot of us. A lot of us were Call of Duty guys at that point. That's what we were playing the majority of the time. So, have you guys played it? Have you guys gotten a chance to play it?
Nah, not yet. I've been trying to stay away from it. Not trying to stay away from it. I've been giving it some time to figure out what it's gonna do, because I've been hearing from people that the lobbies are still hacked. I'm not trying to deal with that kind of stress right now.
Got it.
I'm definitely gonna pick it up, but like I said, I'm gonna give it some time.
Got it.
I feel the same way. I still own all the Modern Warfare games, and when they went backwards I was like, oh, let me pop the disc in and see what it's like. And you're right, the lobbies in Modern Warfare 2 are still, hacked to an extent, because they really don't support those lobbies anymore. The biggest thing with Call of Duty is really just, I really want them to just go ahead and just remaster 2 in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. I know that's something that a lot of people have on the horizons with them, especially since Infinity War is doing the new Call of Duty, which is going to be Modern Warfare 4, which is rumored to be the next Call of Duty next year. So if we can finally get remasters of those games, I'll be 100% in to try them again, because the one thing I really overlooked when Modern Warfare Call of Duty 4 launched out last year or 2 years ago was just how fun those stories were. Like, those single players were very, very engaging. They were epic stories, especially Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 3, I really played that game just because I wanted to finish that story mission. I was a little bit over the hype of what they actually did in multiplayer. I felt like they jumped the shark completely with the kill streaks in that game. Mm-hmm. So Modern Warfare 2 was like the pinnacle for me. But if you want to talk about just the sweet science of it, Modern Warfare Call of Duty 4 was like perfect. It was like all about gunplay. It was all about knowing where your teammates were. It was all about positioning. And
Fast twitch.
That's what and that's what that game was. And think about it. A lot of people, that's why people lost their shit about that game when Activision tied it to Infinite Warfare. You had to earn it because people wanted just to play that game. So a remaster and not having it tied to another game will be the best thing I'm looking for. But, you know, Microsoft can always hold fame to the fact that all these games can be played on one system now.
Yeah, and that's a pretty big feather in the cap, though, because I know this one has been asked for forever. Every time you see a game come in the back impact, you check the fucking comment section. You're like, where's Battle Warfare 2? And there's a few other games that are still kind of lurking or creeping around that people still want. But for a long time, it was Modern Warfare 2. And I know that was, like he said, for even Forte, that was kind of like the pinnacle of Call of Duty. I remember seeing that trailer when it dropped. I lost my shit when I saw that trailer, man. Man, it was on Favela. You guys remember that? It was on that map Favela. Oh man,
remember the flag shield? Yeah, the Flag Runner trailer. That's what it was called.
That's what it was. Yeah. Oh my god, I lost
by far my favorite. Like, dude, after they announced it was going back to compat, I looked for that video on YouTube. It's not even an easy video to find because it's like buried under like Infinity War. It's not even under Activision. But I watched that video and I was like, dude, I remember all of the great feelings I had from this video. Yeah. That was the first time you saw the AC-130.
Yeah, it was the great, riot shield, fucking throwing knife. I think it was the first time we saw the fucking knife as well. Maybe not. I think as far as you being able to throw it, I think it was. This shit was crazy.
Throwing a knife across the map. Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah, at the very end of the trailer when he threw it up, when he threw it out while he was sniping at the top of the hill. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that shit was crazy, fucking insane. All right, guys. So moving on to the next topic, man. Things are moving quickly here. So once again, guys, if you're new to the actual podcast, please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel as well. So another thing I wanted to talk about. This is more of a future topic, and I think this is more of like I'm just kind of an opinionated. I also did a video on this as well. About maybe 343 and Coalition being able to make new IPs in the next generation, and so I kind of want to back myself up on that point. So the reason I think that is something that is going to happen, first of all, I just think at some point Halo and Gears will end at some point. Now, the biggest drawback about that is that they may just take another shape or form. Maybe the game there's another character and it follows another character, or something else happens and they just reform the game and evolve it into something differently. That can always happen as well. But I think at some point the Halo and the Gears we know will probably be over, because I think every great story has to have an end. Has to. The only video game character that can get away with not having an end is fucking Mario. That is it.
Yeah,
he's the only one that gets away with
playing the same.
We've been playing it. We done say Princess 26 times from the same person. Okay, we need I'm trying to tell. But imagine God of War 12. That's not gonna happen because a great story has to have an end. Look at Uncharted. Has to have an end. You know what I'm saying? So,
isn't it technically God of War 12, like counting spinoffs?
Well, true. Good. Yeah, well, get the fuck. Now you got me all thinking and shit. Well, no, but yeah, you're kind of right in a way. But you know what I mean. Damn it. Anyway,
I know what you mean.
No, but and I want to go ahead and just throw that to you guys. So, what are the odds of that happening? I mean, I think it's apparent, and I think with the new acquisitions, that's going to revitalize the new blood. You got new members of the team. I'm pretty sure they share resources between these first party studios. They help each other out. They share resources. They even share developers and people back and forth to help out on the game. So I think a lot of that's going to lead to I think it's time that we try something a little different. Like I think it's time that we do something a little different. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with you, Fuzzy, on this one. So what do you think? What do you think the odds of that happening, man? You think they're gonna make something new the next generation?
I think the odds are pretty high, but I don't think they're just going to close off the stories like Gears of War or Halo. Like it looks like they're hiring enough people to load up those studios to almost be able to do 2 key projects not necessarily simultaneously, but at least put focus on like the forefront one that's going to be out in the year, and then have the other one kind of working on it in the background, and then have that ready in like a year or two as well. So I could see them doing either a spin-off story that takes a different direction or just something completely different. But I still think that those teams are going to continue to do Halo and Gears probably for, I would say, at least half of the next generation. And if these new IPs wind up being successful enough, or revered enough where people look at those more so than the originals, then maybe they'll let the other stories kind of wane off a bit. But I don't foresee Microsoft just yet taking a step back from them. It's just that I see how many studios they have and how many people they're hiring. I think they want to go with kind of like what they were doing with Forza, even though it was basically two different teams. You had the Turn 10 team doing the motorsport and Playground doing the Horizon. I can see 343 and Coalition growing to a large enough size where it's like, the A team is doing, the main story, B team is working on something completely different. Like, remember the rumors that we were hearing about Joanna Dark and things like that? So I think they'll just grow the teams to do multiple things.
Okay, no, good point. Good point. So I'm gonna throw that to you too, Gaming Forte, man. What do you think of the odds that's gonna happen? Maybe probably not this generation, but maybe the next round of new consoles. You think that's something that could potentially happen?
I honestly think it needs to happen. Reason being, especially in the mindset of what Halo is, because of 343 and the size of their studio. I think it's like close to 500 people now, and there's no reason that dev team can't be split up to do multiple projects. I'm not saying that they can't always still be working on a Halo, but as of right now, they need to establish that they can do something other than that game, because there is going to come a point where, and some people will always probably already tell you it's already arrived, where they need to start thinking past Halo. They need to think about what's the next flagship title that we can actually create for our franchise that's going to be.
I think it's evident that they're thinking about that with the acquisitions of the other studios.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well,
your point. Yeah.
Well, the initiative is going to be something they're thinking about, just like for bigger budget studio that's going to make other games and stuff. But they can't just have one studio tied to just one project forever and stuff. I mean, honestly, they'll lose people that way, I think, too. People get tired of making the same games over and over again. That's part of the reason why mostly Bungie and Microsoft split in the first place. So they may still keep the studios under control, but you'll lose people under, the leadership under those people just because of that. I just think that they need to change a little bit. I'm not saying it needs to happen in the middle of next generation. It could happen at the end of next generation, all I care. Even the same thing with the Coalition. I think they got a little bit more rope just because they have come out with a game that's actually really, really good, and it's looking really, really compelling with the next version of Gears of War, where Halo has been a little stagnant, like I said earlier, over the last few games. And that's the reason I think they need to start thinking about the next project, because either they just can't make a good Halo game, and we'll find that out with Infinite, or people are just getting real tired of that IP and they need to take a break from it for a while. But I believe having a diverse portfolio is going to be the best thing that Microsoft can do going into the next generation, and that's very evident by the studios they signed and by the studios they're creating.
Cool. I mean, I don't know how the hell you gonna follow that up, Lazy. You pretty much said everything you need to be said, but yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at my notes. I agree. I mean, yeah. I mean, I pretty much feel the same way. I don't know what other stories they could tell after Gears 6. Yeah, man, that's a hard commentary to follow up on, but
yeah.
No, I mean, it looks like they're trying to go with a different direction with Gears 5. They're doing the mocap now. It looks a hell of a lot better. I'm very more interested in this story than I was when they first revealed the Gears 4 trailer. But as far as a new IP for the Coalition, I mean, if the team of 500 did that, I think they're going to need a little bit more in order to branch off and tackle both Gear 6, which I'm pretty sure is going to be a Scarlet title, and a new IP that they have to knock our fucking socks off with. Same for Halo. I mean, you got all these Halo spinoffs. You got the Halo Wars. You got the Fire Team. Is it Fire Team Bravo, the arcade game? You got Gears doing the Pop Funko mobile game and the RTS now. I mean, they're trying to grow the franchise, but at the same time, we want to see something new from these studios. I don't know what the hell it could be. It doesn't have to be a Gears of War type shooter. It doesn't have to be another Halo type FPS. We could see a completely different genre. I just do think that we need to see something else. And maybe should the Halo series take a break? I mean, does it have to? Mario doesn't.
Well, no. The thing,
Mario takes breaks though.
Mario doesn't
tennis, Mario golf, Mario Kart, Mario.
No. We're talking about the mainline Mario games,
like Mario Odyssey, that kind of thing. But
not really. Just the franchise. I mean, just Mario as a whole.
But the thing, Mario's okay, kind of.
If we're just talking about mainland series, then yes. But
but you also talk about the Nintendo crowd is a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say
they asked for because I love Nintendo and I own a Switch and I own all those games, but there is a difference between an Xbox player, PlayStation player, and a Nintendo player.
Of course.
Most people now, if you own all those systems, you choose to own them all because you just like to have all the different systems and you like to have all the different experiences. But I will tell, and I like exclusives. But it's the biggest thing is when I look at a Mario game, I know that Mario is like that entrenched thing. It's like football on Sunday. You never get enough of it, and it is like you always go back to it. Nintendo has this hold over a lot of people because they were the first ones that was their system of choice. Right. It was the first system that you grew up with.
Nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
It's a hell of a drug, and Nintendo's been selling that drug for over 30 years.
Okay, I'm trying to tell you, in the 80s.
it's crazy. But the biggest thing about why I think, Halo just needs, I'm not even going to say it needs to take a break. They just need to, just like how Uncharted, just like Naughty Dog, they didn't take a break from Uncharted. They just made another game in between Uncharted 4 and Uncharted 3. We got Last of Us in the middle of that. So even knowing it was only like 5 years between those two games, that one game in the middle of it was a break enough to actually give us something more. And they actually look at Last of Us as now one of the flagship games of that franchise. Yeah. And they can literally sell off into the sunset and literally retire Nathan Drake. Nobody thought that would have ever been a possibility during the PS3 era because that was such a prevalent IP for them. But they came up with another one at the very end of the generation. And Microsoft needs to do the same thing. They can't live on the morals of just Master Chief. And then they tried to do it in the wrong way. They tried to tell us as gamers that Master Chief isn't the focal point of Halo anymore when they did the whole Locke versus Master Chief. You played with Locke so much in the game, and that gamble didn't work. So now you just made the whole player base and everybody that loved Halo just agitated with the game. So now we're looking at them like, hey, the next version of this game needs to be amazing. And if they don't hit it out the park, what do you think the reception of the game is going to be then?
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Now, I would never ever. Halo is one of those rare games. Like I said, we were talking earlier about this. I think Halo can be put next to any other game as far as being released, and I don't think it would do bad. I don't think it would suffer as much as some other games. Even like other multi-plats. Even you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't even put Madden next to Cyberpunk, and that shit comes out on everything. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, then. If you put Halo Infinite next to Destiny 3, same type of game. Which one do you think sells more? Now we know Destiny is a multiplayer.
It's on more systems.
It's a multiplayer, but which one you think will have more mind share? Because Halo's a big IP. But
it's that a lot. That's not a fair question because a lot of that has to do with the way the game's marketed, all of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of that has to do with the way the game sees, because the hype has to be generated. I mean, Halo is going to generate a certain amount of hype anyway because it's Halo. It doesn't really need as big of a push as some of these other games. But I mean, you gotta package that bad boy right. You gotta clean it up. You got to put it in the right package, get it all dressed up, because it's not. I mean, because Destiny, like you said, it's a multi-plat. It's on everything, and Destiny is turning into a. It's kind of a conundrum for me because people can't stand Destiny for about 8 months after it comes out, and then at some point, boom, something happens, and everybody's
Everybody
back playing Destiny. Forsaken.
36 hours already.
The Taken King, same thing. Boom, everybody. So it kind of holds a weird spot for me, you know. And so I think Halo would probably sell more initially, like right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it would continue to sell more, obviously, just due to the fact that it's not a multi-plat like Destiny is.
And I agree with you. And I agree with you on that. I just think Microsoft, and that's another thing, the marketing that Microsoft has been doing as of late has been abysmal. You don't see really too many Horizon 4 trailers. But guess what? I see trailers for all those Sony exclusives. I mean, I see Sony exclusives everywhere. I mean, they even they literally turned a subway system of New York into Spider-Man.
A Spider-Man marketing. Oh my, yeah, that
crazy. Crazy.
And that's the problem that we have right now. So yes, the fact, and think about it, that makes you feel as a gamer. How do you feel when one of your favorite franchises isn't even marketed the way it should be? You don't even. It's like it doesn't even exist half the time.
Well, another thing too. Now a lot of that was now that the guy is out the way that was holding all of the purse strings. Things are moving very, very quickly. You see, once he decided he was going to leave the company, they bought studios. All of this shit started happening. All of these rumors about other IPs and old games coming back and all this other stuff. You know, more. You know, them buying more studios once he took off. So I think that Phil knows and understands what they have. I think that's wise a thing because he understands that we need these franchises to work. So when they got rid of Fable Legends, and this is kind of loosely relating to what we're talking about here with Halo, I think he knows what he needs to do, and I think he's finally in a position after fucking digging himself out of a hole the last 3 to 4 years. He's finally in a position to do what he wants with Xbox and with the games that he has. You know, because a lot of the reason Fable didn't go anywhere, Lionhead closed, a lot of these other games, you know, Scalebound, same thing, is they had a lot of issues with the studios. And I think that now that he's past that, I think that the purse strings have been loosened up as far as what he can do, what he can spend. I think we're finally going to see the right Halo. We're finally going to see the right Fable. You know, because a lot of that was he was coming in, and that shit was already pretty much pre-planned. You know, Fable Legends, all of that, that was all Matrix. That shit was already contract signed and sealed. So he was coming in halfway through that. So I think with Halo specifically, I think Infinite's probably going to be. Oh man, I don't want to say it's. I want it to end up in my top 3 Halos. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be phenomenal.
I'm curious. What is your top 3 Halos? Off a little bit off topic.
Halo 3 is my favorite Halo ever. 3. The second, Halo 3, Halo CE, the first one, probably 2. And then just because I played an inordinate amount of that, I played that game so much, I almost lost a relationship. I played that game so much. And then probably after that, Halo 2. That would probably round out my top 3: Halo 3, Halo 1, and Halo 2. What about you?
I mean, I don't have a top 3. I'm a fan of Halo, but I'm not as dedicated as most of my friends that play Halo are. I'm not going to be in the bathroom singing the theme song. But my favorite Halo game is Reach. And, you know, I started getting into debates with people about that, but I just thought that story was phenomenal. I love Swan songs, and the way that game ended got a brother choked up. I'm not gonna lie, it got me choked up, and it was an amazing ending. And then people start getting in their feelings who really love the Halo franchise and want to go back and forth with me. But that's all I'm gonna say on that.
I would say mine is Halo 1 is Halo 2, 2 is Halo 3, and I'm with you. Halo Reach. I love Halo 1. The first Halo Combat Evolved was amazing. But that was mostly just because of the atmosphere that you created around your friends and taking your Xbox to their house and hooking it up and beating the mess out of them in multiplayer.
Right.
But when it came to like just the full experience of the game, Reach, that game, just the campaign alone, was very, very heartfelt. And I think that was the best agitation of them trying to use other means of telling a story outside of Master Chief, because that's the one game that actually did really well that Master Chief was not a part of.
But that was during Halo's peak run. That was like Tiger Woods in early 2000.
Well, no, that was the last.
Like,
that was the last Halo that Bungie made.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying though. That was during that time where Halo could you could put out any Halo and it would, you know what I'm saying? So I remember the backlash for Reach wasn't really the single player, it was the multiplayer because of the changes, the loadouts, things like that. That's what people didn't like about it. But it was exactly. They were saying they turned into Call of Duty. So single player was fantastic. I mean, it was a great single player. You know, just from you got to see a different point of view from the other Spartans, and you know, obviously the ending of the game was fucking phenomenal. I don't know. What about you, Fuzzy? What are your top 3 Halos?
See, I'm gonna sound like a fraud right now because my what was it, Halo 5? Halo 5 was my first Halo.
Oh, that's right.
And then Halo
Wars 2 I forgot.
is my second. So I came from PlayStation prior. So the big thing for me now with the Master Chief Collection being in Game Pass, I'm gonna eventually go through all of those and play those here soon. But
we got to do those together, bro. We got to put those together.
5 wasn't that bad for me, but I could see, you know, based on it being like, you know, with Halo, with Master Chief being the main character and throwing Locke in there, I can see why there was a lot of backlash on it. But I didn't see it as being that bad of a story compared to, you know, some other games. I mean, I'm used to like the Resistance Fall of Man and the whole series that Insomniac did on PlayStation. So when I look at that versus, you know, Halo 5, I'm fine with Halo 5. It's just I need to tackle the Master Chief Collection, and now that it's X1X Enhanced, it's in Game Pass. That's going to be my goal before, you know. Well, I got to do it before the end of this month because once Horizon 4 comes out, I'm back into Forza every day type of thing. But I definitely want to tackle the Master Chief Collection here pretty soon.
Cool. All right. So that's pretty much going to wrap up all the topics. Now, I do want to give the chat the opportunity to maybe throw a couple topics out there for us at the very end here to knock out the last 5 or 10 minutes of the show. So if you guys have any questions, chat, go ahead and put them in the chat right now, and I will answer as many as we possibly can here. You guys got anything you want to cover that I may have missed that we didn't talk about yet? Anything you guys want to cover here?
Oh, the grease-proof controller.
Yeah. Somebody's
Kentucky Fried Chicken controller that's only available in Australia.
Somebody said something about Microsoft's marketing, and that made me want to talk about that. That shit was hilarious. I didn't see the whole trailer. All I saw was somebody throwing fried chicken at a damn controller. I was like, what the hell is going on? I was like holding my head like, wait a minute, what?
No, it was a wingding flying across the screen.
That shit was too funny, man. That shit was too crazy. That shit was. Where do you guys? That was like the you remember that Destiny cologne commercial when Destiny 1 came out? They couldn't market Destiny, so they made a cologne commercial out of Destiny.
They made a cologne commercial out of Destiny 2.
Was it Destiny 2 or 1? I think it was 1.
It was Destiny
1.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, so that was pretty fucking clever.
Somebody just came in the studio and was like, "Hey, man, let's throw my lunch at the controller, man." I think that's a good idea, dude. Like, oh man.
So, Indie Gamer did just throw me a question. Shout out, Indie Gamer. Appreciate you showing up, man. Always seeing you in the chat, man. So we haven't talked about the Battlefield 5 beta. I know we talked about it pre-show. We haven't really covered it here. So, I mean, have you guys played it? I played a couple matches of it. I know Lazy said he jumped on. We were talking before the show started. He played a few matches. So, my first impressions, it feels like Battlefield. I don't think there's nothing that's significantly different than 1 for me. Besides, obviously, it's a different era, so the weapons are different. The vehicles are slightly different. but it still feels like a Battlefield game. The graphics, it actually looks pretty damn good. Especially for like a beta, it looks graphics pretty high quality. Other than that, it doesn't really, nothing really sticks out for me. I mean, I don't know. What about you, Lazy? Because I know you played a few matches.
I mean, yeah, that was pretty much it. It was only a few matches, and I mean, I share your sentiments. It just seems like a Battlefield game. I mean, looks clean. I found myself killing a lot more. I mean, they did something with the spot. They did something with the respawn points. I don't know. I just felt like I've in that beta, I've gotten the most kills in a Battlefield multiplayer game than I ever have. I'm not really a multiplayer. I'm not really a multiplayer game, especially. I mean, a multiplayer guy, especially with the Battlefield games. I'm more of a story person, but I mean, I enjoyed it, but it didn't sell me on actually, going out and getting Battlefield on day one. If that was, I mean, I'm pretty sure, that was the move that they're trying to make, and it didn't sell me. I have to play a little bit more though, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's the same thing here, man. I got to play a little bit more. I mean, it felt fluid. You're right about the spawns. I did feel like I was having more encounters because the biggest issue with Battlefield that I have, you can do every single thing. I could crawl across the map on my fucking stomach and literally get shot out of nowhere from like 400 yards away. And I did everything that I could possibly do to play safe, to do the right thing, to keep, you know what I'm saying? I could keep myself, all these little and I still die just because some guy he's laying on the ground better than I am. Maybe in a better position. That's the biggest issue I've ever had with because I could do everything right and I just get randomly killed by some random ass person who wants to snipe from 300 yards away behind a pebble on the ground, that I can't see. So it's just I don't know. I felt like I didn't have those kind of encounters. Now, once again, it's not the full game. I'm pretty sure those things are still around. But from the experience I've had, like you said, Lazy, I have had a lot of, the spawning system. Maybe they adjusted that different. Maybe it's different. Or I know the when you die, I know that screen's different as well. You have an option to kind of try and get somebody over there to help you out. But anybody else played it yet? You Gaming Forte or Fuzzy?
I played it yesterday, and I agree with everything you're saying. I have a different opinion about the graphics because it just doesn't look right to me. But then I think it might just because they have that film grain over the game that you can't turn off in the beta, which just makes it look weird to me. I don't know what it is. But no, but overall the game looks really good. I just hope they allow you to turn off the film grain on it. I like the fact that the recoil has been really managed in this game. The suppression, it seems like they completely removed the suppression mechanic where your bullet deviation is all over the place when you're playing multiplayer. On this one now, it looks like whenever you take shots and you're being suppressed, you don't have like that haze over your HUD where you can barely see and stuff. So they really went to work with a lot of stuff the community wanted them to change from Battlefield 1 and going all the way back to Battlefield 4. And the 3 or 4 hours I put into the beta so far is very encouraging. I'm definitely looking forward to the full release of the game. Just want to see what they got to offer around the other game modes, like the Firestorm game mode, which is their battle royale.
Okay, what about you, Fuzz? You get a chance to tackle it yet?
Not myself. Been watching my kids play. For the most part, looks like it's a lot. Well, they're faring a lot better than they did in Battlefield 1. They're not getting hit with snipers as soon as they start off. But the one thing I do like is like the death screen. You at least have it where somebody can pick you up. They only drawback a couple of times. They wind up getting out of the tank that was on fire after repairing it and stuff like that. And somebody, instead of helping them, wound up stealing the tank from them. But other than that, graphics look good. Overall gameplay, they haven't had any complaints other than, not getting as much help. But, that's only because they haven't had any of their friends try it just yet to get on the same server or same team and stuff. But I'm probably going to wind up picking it up since, I'm more of the campaign guy. So when that comes out, that's more than likely going to be one of those things I pick up since I get the EA access discount and stuff like that.
Got it. Okay, cool. All right, man. So that's pretty much going to wrap things up, everybody. Thank you guys for coming out and watching, man. We appreciate you guys so much, man. We do this every Saturday. Once again, next week, we're going to have new guests. Same lit show, though, same time, 5 p.m. Pacific time every Saturday. Before I close everything out, I do want to let you guys know as well, if you're in the chat, please submit your clips here. I do have another show that I'm starting. It's like a top 3 subscribers clips of the week. So I will put that in the link below in the description. That way you guys can go ahead and submit your clips. It doesn't have to be any particular kind of console, any clip. If you think it's cool, just send it to that particular email address. And once again, I'm also going to let everybody here on the panel just let you guys know where they can find you. So we're going to start with our special guest, Lazy. Let everybody know that's watching where they can check you out at.
Yeah, man. Lazy Black Gamer here once again. You could find me on the Twitter at Lazy Black Gamer. Same thing with Mixer at Lazy Black Gamer. I'm also on. Sometimes I'm on Twitch. I try to be back on Twitch as much as I can. Lazy Black Gamer Guy. Everything else, Facebook. Whenever I'm on there, IG is Lazy Black Gamer, man. So hit me up, guys. I got some nice pictures that make me look like a beautiful, pretty woman. I'm shut up because I'm rambling.
Now I gotta go look at these pictures.
Yeah, I know. Now we gotta go look at the picture. You just created a situation. You just told Twitter to find these pictures that make you look like.
I'm gonna mute my mic.
Yeah, you should probably do that. You should probably do that. But anyway, no, seriously though, appreciate you coming in, man. Because I know I hit you up kind of halfway through the week and reached out. And once again, thank you for coming on. I hope you enjoyed the show and the atmosphere and everybody here in the chat. Once again, you're anytime you're on my show once, you're always welcome on. So you never know when you get a DM from me. But once again, thank you for sharing your afternoon with me, man. I appreciate that so much.
Brother, thank you for having me, man. I'm honored to say the least, man, that people would even want me around. But yeah, man, I definitely want to be on for another show in the future, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's go ahead and throw this over to the most unassuming person in the history of humankind. We got Fuzzy over there, man. Let everybody know where they can find you, brother.
Find me on Twitter, Fuzzy _ Belvedere. On Xbox Live, Fuzzy space Belvedere, and on PSN, Fuzzy _ Belvedere. Usually playing Forza most of the time, but lately I've been doing some binge gaming from stuff on Game Pass, like Rise of the Tomb Raider, hitting up Hitman now, and I'm gonna try to see if I can finish out Prey now that they have that Moonwalk DLC or Moon Raid thing.
Michael Jackson.
But, it's been a great show today. Nice to be on here with Lazy Black Gamer. And, always good to be here with Gaming Forte and Blam. Always fun time talking games.
For sure. So go ahead and give yourself a shout out as well, Forte.
Yo, as always, thanks for the invite as usual. You could catch me over on YouTube at Gaming Forte. You can also catch me on Twitter at Gaming _ Forte. And yeah, Xbox Live, always playing Destiny. It's at Nautical, didn't want to change over everything to Gaming Forte because more people know me by that name on there since that Xbox Live name's been around since 2001. So thanks for that invite again, and shout out to everybody on the panel, man. Definitely good to be on here with guys like-minded and having conversations about games.
Awesome. And last but not least is your boy PTK Blam, the shop host, essentially. PTK Blam across the board, Xbox Live on Twitter as well. Follow me there. Once again, appreciate every single one of you guys that show support every single Saturday. Once again, we will be back next Saturday, same time, same place. A bunch of familiar faces, also a couple of new faces as well. It was a great show. Thank you, everybody here on the panel. And once again, guys, if you have not, and this is your first time here, please smack that like button. Leave a comment below. I interact with every single person here on the channel that leaves comments. I do the best I can to follow everybody as well. So just thank you, guys, for showing support. We're out of here. See you guys next week. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.